here's where we get to our fun with the comma, verse 14. For when Gentiles who do not have the Torah by nature do what is in the Torah, although not having the Torah, they are a Torah to themselves. And by the way, if you heard me read it, I read it the right way, not this way, when I read it, so you may have caught it at the time. Move that comma. For when Gentiles who do not have the Torah by nature, comma, do what is in the Torah. Do you see the difference? It's not like when the Gentiles who by nature do what's in the Torah, oh, they just naturally do what's in the Torah. That's what Christianity taught you, isn't it? Comma's in the wrong place. He's saying when the Gentiles who do not have Torah by nature, who has Torah by nature? The Jews. Gentiles don't have Torah by nature. He says, when a Gentile who doesn't have it by nature does what's in the Torah, although they're not having the Torah, they are now a Torah to themselves. In other words, they now, the phrase, the Torah to themselves, is just a challenging word. It doesn't mean they get to make up the law. It means that they are now subject in a way that you never understood before. Because the way that the Jews always thought of it was that the law precluded the Gentiles from. He says, no. If they, who don't have it by nature, do what is in it, although not having it, they are subject to now the covenant. They now can covenant. That's what he's trying to say. It's a bad phrase the way it's written. He says, they are covenanted. Does that make more sense now in verse 14? And that terrible little comma in the wrong place. You see how much difference that made? Because the other way it says, for when Gentiles who do not have Torah by nature they do it. Well, we're now Christians now, and just by nature we just do everything that pleases God. That is not what it says. It says that they were not born into this, but they can choose. And if they choose, they get to be covenanted too. Okay, that's what verse 14 is saying. Does that help everybody a little bit? Yeah. And he makes it even more clear because we know what covenanting is if you listen to the 55 parts of that. In verse 15, he says, they who now can covenant, or they are covenanted, they show the work of the Torah written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness, and between themselves their thoughts accusing or even excusing in the day when Elohim shall judge the secrets of men through Yeshua Messiah according to my good news. So he's saying is they will be in a position to judge those who are actually in covenant, not all of you that just want to judge because you think you have a birthright to it. Interesting. So they're going to be given authority, it says. Those whose work of the Torah is written in their hearts and their conscience also bears witness between themselves and with their thoughts, accusing and even excusing in the day when Elohim shall judge. So they're going to be there in the court and they're going to be doing the prosecutorial, I don't know how to say the word. They'll be prosecutors. All right? We'll wait till Pete's here. Pete Lamb will tell me how to say it right. Okay. So we see, again, the context of all of this is not the Gentiles by nature just do whatever. They're going to show the work of the Torah. They're keeping Shabbat. They're eating right. Equal weights and measures. They're not committing adultery. They're not stealing. They're not murdering and all the other Torah. They're keeping the feasts. They're tithing and offering. They're bearing the fruit of the Ruach.